My beloved child, you didn't find this message by accident. You were led here because heaven has something urgent to say to your heart. Before we begin, I want you to type these words in the comments. I believe in God's way. Let that be your first act of faith today, a simple declaration, a spiritual agreement. And if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe to this channel, God's Message Today, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next time. Heaven sends a word just for you. Now take a deep breath. You've been walking through something silently, trying to hold it all together, trying to figure out the next step, but feeling like every door is closed. The pressure has been real, the path unclear. You've been asking questions that haven't received answers, and the silence has made you wonder if God is still guiding you. But today, God wants you to know something powerful and personal. I am making a way for you. Not a maybe, not a possibility, a promise. Where you see no road, God is forming one. Where you see only a wall, He is carving out an opening. Where you feel stuck, God is already moving. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing now. It springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." You've been walking through wilderness places, emotionally dry, mentally exhausted, spiritually tired. But God is saying, I'm about to turn this desert into a river, because He sees where you are, and He knows what's been weighing you down. You're not forgotten. You're not invisible. You're not abandoned. You are chosen, protected, guided, and divinely carried, even when it doesn't feel like it. God doesn't need visible circumstances to start moving. He creates from nothing. He opens doors that don't exist yet. He parts seas when the enemy is chasing. He leads through fire without you burning. He lifts burdens that others can't see. You've been waiting for Him to show you a sign. But sometimes faith requires walking without the sign and trusting that God is building the road while you take the step. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling pressure from every side lately? Have people misunderstood you? Have your plans failed no matter how hard you tried? That's not punishment. That's positioning. God sometimes shuts every other door so that you're not distracted from the one He's opening. You've been relying on your strength for too long, on your logic, on your understanding. But now, He wants you to rely on Him. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Did you hear? That He will make the path straight. Not you, not your family, not your connections, not your experience. God, He's already seen the end from the beginning. He's already walked through the future and cleared it for your arrival. He's not preparing the path to fit your fear. He's preparing it to fulfill His promise. You may not feel ready, but He's already qualified you. You may not know what to say, but He's already gone ahead of your voice. You may feel like you've failed too many times, but His grace says, get up again. I'm not done with you. There's someone listening right now who almost gave up this week. You felt like there was nothing left to try, like life has been too hard for too long. But this is your word. God is telling you, I am not asking you to figure everything out. I am only asking you to believe that I'm working. You don't have to know how. Just believe in who. Believe in the God who can create light from darkness, hope from chaos, peace from storms. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Not some things, all things, even the heartbreak, even the delay, even the door that's shut in your face. It's all working together, not against you, but for you. Because God isn't just making a way around the trouble. He's making a way through it. He didn't remove the Red Sea. He parted it. He didn't avoid the lion's den. He sent peace inside it. He didn't skip the fire. He stood in it with them. And He will stand with you. You're not walking this alone. Even when others leave, even when you feel misunderstood, even when your voice shakes, God stays. He says, fear not, for I am with you. Isaiah 41:10. That means you don't need to fear the future. You don't need to fear the unknown. You don't need to fear the delay. You don't need to fear what's being lost. Because what feels like loss may actually be God clearing space for the new. You prayed for clarity. You prayed for open doors. You prayed for God to lead you. But sometimes answers come through letting go of what you thought you needed, letting go of the old identity, letting go of the pressure to please people. And God is whispering now, let it go. I'm making a way that doesn't require you to carry all this weight. You've been carrying too much, expectations, fear of failure, fear of disappointing others, fear of time running out. But today, He is lifting the burden. Matthew 11:28-29 says, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Rest is part of the way He is making. For you, He's not calling you to exhaustion. He's calling you to trust. So if everything around you feels uncertain, if your plans have failed, if the doors keep closing, know this: God is still making a way, a better way, a higher way, a holy way. One that doesn't rely on human approval, one that can't be blocked by opposition, one that leads to His glory, not just your goals. And it's unfolding, step by step, right beneath your feet, even now. If this message is speaking to you, type in the comments, God is making a way for me. Let the angels record your faith. Today, let heaven witness your agreement. Let your heart rise in expectation, because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you stop striving and start surrendering, where you stop fighting for scraps and begin receiving the fullness of God's provision, where you stop fearing rejection and walk boldly in your divine identity. Yes, this is your moment. This is your hour, and God is making a way for you right now. Not next year, not in a distant season. Now. So receive it. Say yes to the new thing. Say yes to the path that you may not fully understand, but trust that it is filled with peace, purpose, and provision. Like this video, if your spirit has felt a shift, it helps this message reach others who are waiting for a word from God. And before we go, if this word touched your heart in any way, please share it with someone you love, a family member, a friend, a neighbor. You are still here, and that says everything. You didn't click away. You didn't let distraction pull you away from this moment. You stayed. You opened your heart, and you're receiving what heaven wants to pour into you. That's not random. That's alignment. Because what God is preparing for you isn't just about this week. It's not just about solving one problem. It's about transforming your entire walk with Him. You've asked, God, when will it happen? God, how will I know the right way to go? And His answer right now is this: I am making a way that only I can open. And when He opens it, no one can shut it. No opinion, no delay, no mistake, no enemy, not even your past. God does not consult your history to write your destiny. He consults His promises, His covenant, His unchanging word. You've been living like what's behind you has the final say. But heaven wants you to know, it does not. The people who left you, they were not your source. The opportunities that passed you by, they were not your only chance. The years you think were wasted, God is redeeming them. He does not throw away time. He restores it. He reclaims it. He breathes life into places you thought were finished. Joel 2:25 says, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. That's not just poetic, that's personal, for you, for your family, for everything the enemy tried to take from you. God says, I'm not just giving you what you lost, I'm giving it back multiplied. The joy you lost, multiplied. The favor you lost, multiplied. The confidence, the direction, the peace, multiplied. Because He's not just doing enough, He's doing more than enough. Ephesians 3:20 speaks to this. Now unto Him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. More than you asked, more than you thought to pray for, more than you dared to imagine. That's what's being released in this next season of your life. But here's the truth. Before God brings the blessing, He often brings a shift. And that's what many of you are feeling right now. A shift, a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something is breaking loose, but you can't quite explain it. That's not your imagination. That's preparation. God is making a way. But before He walks you into it, He's preparing you to walk it out. There are mindsets being loosened from your life, old ways of thinking that no longer serve your new season, beliefs that kept you stuck, patterns that delayed your progress, fears that told you to settle, And God is dismantling all of it. He's reconditioning your faith. He's stretching your spiritual muscles. He's teaching you to walk not by sight, but by trust. Because the road He's creating isn't built by man's hands, it's built by divine power. And that means this journey will require your full surrender. You can't carry old habits into new places. You can't bring fear into your harvest. You can't hold on to shame and hold on to destiny at the same time. So let go. Let go of what didn't work. Let go of who didn't believe in you. Let go of the timelines you placed on your miracle. Let go of the question, but what if it's too late? Because God is not on your schedule. You are on His dot, and His timing is never wrong. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time, everything. Not just some parts of your life, not just your good days, not just your spiritual moments. Everything. That includes the seasons you didn't understand, the heartbreaks that nearly crushed you, the detours that confused you, the delays that made you question if He was still listening. He was, and He is. Right now, this moment, He is closer to you than your breath. He is standing in the middle of your confusion, silently crafting clarity. He is walking beside you on the road you can't see yet. And He's asking you to believe not just in the path, but in the guide. You don't need all the details. You only need trust, radical, surrendered trust, the kind of trust that says, I may not see the next step, but I believe God is planting it under my feet as I move forward. You're not stuck. You're being prepared. Some of you are being hidden right now. And it's not rejection. It's protection. God is shielding you while He finishes the work inside you. Because He doesn't want to elevate you prematurely. He wants your character to match your calling, your peace to match your platform, your soul to match the size of the blessing. So if it's taking longer than you expected, trust the process. The greater the purpose, the deeper the preparation. You are not being denied. You're being refined. God is stripping off what was never meant to go with you. False attachments, wounded thinking, cycles of survival. He is renewing your mind so you can receive the fullness of what He has. And what He has is beyond what you think you deserve. Because you were not created to beg for blessings. You were created to walk in them. You were not created to chase love. You were created to carry it, to reflect it, to live rooted in it. And God's love for you is not changing based on your past. His plan is not ruined because you made a wrong turn. That's the miracle of His mercy. You can't disqualify what God has already declared over your life. Isaiah 55:11 says, So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. That means every promise He spoke, He is still watching over it, still backing it with His power, still faithful to fulfill it. The road may look unclear, but the outcome is certain. Victory, peace, restoration, overflow, clarity, joy, freedom, healing. That's the way He's making. That's the life He's leading you into, not because you've earned it, but because He loves you that much. Because He is a God who finishes what He starts. And He started something in you. So don't give up. Don't shrink back. Don't go silent. Keep moving. Keep hoping. Keep speaking life over your future. Say this with me in your spirit. God is making a way for me, and I will walk in it. Let those words echo through your day. Let them guide your choices. Let them drown out the noise of doubt. You are not alone. He is with you right now, right here, in this moment, and in every moment to come. So if this message has confirmed something in your heart, if your spirit feels lighter, if your mind feels clearer, take a moment and type in the comments, I trust God's WAY, and please don't keep this word to yourself. Share it with someone you love, a friend who's been feeling stuck, a sibling who's ready to give up, a parent who's been carrying silent burdens. Send it. Let this message become the light they've been praying for. And if you haven't already, click the like button, not just as a sign of support, but as a seed of faith. Let it be your way of saying, I receive this. I agree with this. I stand in faith. You've come this far because God has kept you, not luck, not chance, not human strength, but divine mercy, the kind of mercy that lifted you when life tried to bury you, the kind of mercy that held your hand when no one else even noticed you were sinking. The kind of mercy that quietly surrounded you in moments where your strength ran out but grace carried you forward. And now, He is reminding you, I am still here. I am still moving, and I am still making a way for you. You may not have seen the full answer yet, but the evidence of God's love is already all around you. The fact that you're still breathing, still praying, still believing, that's faith. And faith is what God responds to. Even the smallest whisper of faith, He hears it. Even the weakest prayer spoken with sincerity, He honors it. Even when you say nothing at all, He interprets the language of your tears. He knows the prayers you never had words for, the silent cries, the private battles, the quiet surrender, and He's been moving, even when you couldn't see Him. That's how His ways work. God's movement isn't always loud. Sometimes it's gentle, subtle, hidden. But just because it's silent doesn't mean it's still. He's been rearranging the atmosphere around your life, sending angels before you, loosening strongholds, softening hearts, turning the hearts of people in positions of influence toward your favor. And soon, it's going to show. What was hidden is about to be revealed. What was blocked is about to be opened. What was broken is about to be healed. You may have been in a season of delay, but God says, now comes the delivery. It's time. You're closer than you think. Sometimes, right before the biggest breakthroughs, the pressure increases, the confusion intensifies, the opposition gets louder. Not because God has abandoned you, but because the enemy knows you're getting closer to something sacred. He senses the shift. He knows something has been released in heaven, and it has your name on it. So he tries to distract you, discourage you, get you to turn around. But you must hold on, because what's ahead of you is worth it. The clarity you've been asking for, it's coming. The provision you've needed, it's on the way. The healing you've cried for, it's being completed. Even now, you haven't been forgotten. You've been reserved, set apart, hidden in plain sight, so that when God reveals you, everyone will know this was His doing. That's why certain things didn't work before. Not because you weren't good enough, not because you lacked faith, but because it wasn't your time. And now it is. The same God who formed you in the secret place is about to reward you in the open. Matthew 6:6 says, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. You've done things in secret, prayed in secret, given in secret, forgiven in secret, served in secret. And now, your Father is saying, I've seen every act of obedience, every seed of faith, and I will reward you. Not might, will. He's not just a God of promises. He's a God of fulfillment. And when He fulfills, He does it fully, completely, perfectly. He doesn't leave anything undone. Philippians 1:6 tells us, He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion, until the day of Christ Jesus. That means He's not finished. You may feel unfinished. Your life may feel halfway built. But God doesn't walk away from His projects. He completes what He starts. He finishes what He designs. And what He's building in you is stronger than anything that tried to break you. You're not behind. You're being built. You're not disqualified. You're being developed. You're not losing. You're being led. Led through the valley, led through the stretching, led through the silence. And all of it is leading to something holy, because God's path doesn't always feel good, but it always leads to good. Romans 8:18 says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. The glory is coming. The revealing is coming. The moment where everything finally makes sense, it's coming. That's why you can't give up now. Because the pain you've endured is connected to the purpose God is about to release. You didn't cry for nothing. You didn't sacrifice for nothing. You didn't wait in vain. Heaven has recorded every step of your journey, and God is a God who repays. He repays what was stolen. He repays what was overlooked. He repays what was delayed. And He repays in full. There's a reward coming for your endurance, a blessing coming for your obedience, a door opening because you didn't stop knocking. He's making a way, and soon you will walk through it with grace. You will stand on the other side of this storm and realize why it had to happen the way it did. You'll see how every closed door was actually redirection. How every disappointment was actually protection. How every unanswered prayer was preparing you for the better answer. That's who your God is. He doesn't settle. He doesn't panic. He doesn't miss the timing. He is always on time. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." That word is for you. The thing you've been praying about. The breakthrough that's felt far away. It's not denied. It's appointed. And it will come. You just need to keep walking. Even if your steps are slow. Even if your strength is low. Even if your heart feels tired. Keep walking. Keep worshiping. Keep waiting on God. Because His way is never wrong. And the road He's making for you leads to more than just blessing. It leads to transformation. You're not just walking into answered prayer. You're walking into a new version of you. A version that is healed, free, whole, unshakable, faithful, confident in who God is and who you are in Him. That's what's being built. That's what's being prepared. That's why it's been so hard. Because what's coming next is greater than what you're leaving behind. If this message is confirming something in your soul, if you feel peace rising again, faith coming back, joy knocking on your door, write in the comments, "The way is opening for me." Say it, claim it, speak it with boldness, because God is listening, the angels are moving, and your miracle is in motion. Now don single quotes to keep this word to yourself. Someone close to you needs it. A family member, a co-worker, a friend who's been silently struggling. You are being prepared for something you can't yet see. That's why it's been so heavy at times. Why the pressure increased even when you were doing all the right things. Why you've been feeling like no one fully understands what you're carrying. It's because this next season of your life isn't going to look like anything from your past. God is making a way, and not just any way. Not a familiar one, not a recycled solution, but a brand new, custom design path created just for you. It won't make sense to everyone. It might not even make sense to you right now. But God is not asking you to understand everything. He's asking you to trust Him while He builds something holy with your life. It may seem like the pieces are scattered, but heaven is fitting them together. You might feel like you've been moving without progress, but heaven has been measuring every step. You see, God doesn't just count your victories. He counts your tears, your sacrifices, your patience, your loyalty to Him when everything around you said walk away. And because of that He is responding, not out of obligation, but out of love. He delights in blessing His children. He finds joy in your joy. And everything He's about to release over your life has been stored up, waiting for this exact moment. Yes, this moment. The moment where your faith is still standing after the storm tried to destroy it. The moment when you worshiped, even when you were weary. The moment when you didn't see a way, but said, "God, I'll wait on you anyway." Because that is faith. And faith real. Pure faith moves mountains. It breaks cycles. It brings miracles. It opens doors. Mark 11:23 says, "Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them." And you have spoken. You have believed. You have stayed in position. Even when it felt like everything was working against you. So now the mountain is moving. The way is being cleared. And the part of your life that felt stuck, silent, or stalled is about to shift. You are not forgotten. God has not been quiet because He doesn't care. Sometimes the silence is part of the setup. He steps back for a moment, not to punish you, but to stretch your spiritual muscles, to prepare your heart to carry what He's about to place in your hands. What He's bringing isn't small. It's not fragile. It's not random. It's holy, weighty, divinely timed, and it's been kept under lock and key in heaven, reserved for the moment your faith reached maturity. That's where you are now. You're not where you used to be, even if it still feels like the waiting room. Your spirit has grown. You've become stronger than you realize, wiser, more discerning, more rooted in God's truth. And that's why the breakthrough is near. Because the version of you now is ready to walk through the door God has been preparing all along. A door into peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. A door into provision that doesn't run dry. A door into clarity that removes all confusion. A door into relationships that bring healing, not harm. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. It's coming to you. Because when God makes a way, He also makes the path straight. Psalm 37:23-24 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in Him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with His hand." You've stumbled. You've questioned. You've had moments where you thought, maybe I missed it. But you didn't. You're still in His hand, still in His plan, still on His path. And the stumble didn't stop the promise. In fact, it reminded you of your need for His presence. It humbled you. It kept you close. It refined your prayers. It deepened your dependence. That's how God builds legacy. That's how He strengthens calling. He allows a few stumbles so that when you arrive at your breakthrough, you don't take the credit, you give Him the glory. Because only He could have brought you through what you've endured. Only He could have kept your mind when the world tried to break you. Only He could have held you together when everything felt like it was falling apart. And He's not done. What He's about to do next will silence every lie spoken over your life. It will reverse every plan the enemy formed against you. It will heal every scar the past tried to leave behind. God is not just bringing you out of something. He's bringing you into something. Into peace, into joy, into healthy connections, into bold prayers, into unshakable purpose. This is a divine entrance, not into comfort, but into calling. And what's on the other side of this calling is more fulfilling than anything you've ever settled for. You're about to experience life differently, feel differently, pray differently, move differently, not because your circumstances are suddenly perfect, but because your confidence in God is becoming unshakable. That's what He's been after all along. Not just your request, but your relationship. He wanted your heart, your trust, your willingness to believe in Him when there was no visible reason to do so. And now, you've given Him that. So now He's giving you something back. He's giving you access. He's giving you alignment. He's giving you peace that surpasses understanding. He's giving you victory over battles you didn't even know He was fighting on your behalf. You've been covered even in the conflict. And now, your faith is being rewarded. Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists, and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." You've been seeking, even when you were tired, even when it didn't feel like it was working, even when others walked away from their faith, you stayed. And now the reward is here. You'll know it by the peace, by the confirmation, by the way your soul finally exhales. You'll know it by the new strength rising inside you, the clarity returning to your decisions, the kindness returning to your voice. You'll know it's God, because only He brings blessing without sorrow attached to it. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and He adds no sorrow with it." This next blessing is going to be pure, no confusion, no anxiety, no striving, just grace. Overflowing, unstoppable, undeniable grace. So prepare your heart, make room in your spirit, widen your expectations, because when God makes a way, He doesn't send you leftovers. He sends abundance, not just enough to get by, but enough to bless others, enough to give freely, enough to sow into others' journeys. That's what's ahead. That's what He's doing in you. And if this is resonating deeply within you, if something in your heart is saying, "This is my word," I want you to type it in the comments now. I receive the way God is making for me. Let heaven hear your faith. Let the enemy see you still believe. Let your own soul come into agreement with this truth. And as always, please don't leave without sharing this word. Someone else needs it. Someone else is crying in the dark like you once did. Someone else is wondering if God still speaks. And your share might be the very way He answers them. And before you go, please like this video. It helps spread this message further. It's not just a click, it's a ministry. You're still listening because your heart is open. You stayed because something in your spirit said, "This word is for me." And that's exactly how God works. He draws you in quietly. He doesn't shout. He whispers in the very place where you've needed Him the most. Right now, He's whispering again, not in judgment, not in anger, but in love. He's saying, "My child, I am proud of you. You kept walking. You kept trusting. You kept showing up. And now I will show you what. Your waiting was never wasted." You may not realize how much you've grown, but heaven sees it. You've matured in silence. You've become spiritually stronger in seasons where nothing looked like it was working. And God is now about to show you, not just why the waiting mattered, but why it had to happen this way. Because when He brings the promise, He also brings perspective. You'll begin to see things differently. The pain that used to haunt you will no longer hold power over you. The people who left will no longer define how you love or trust. The decisions that once brought shame will become lessons wrapped in mercy. You'll walk with a clearer mind, a settled heart, and a fresh fire for what God is still going to do, because it's not over. No matter what the enemy has tried to convince you of, you are not done. You are just now stepping into the fullness of who you were always created to be. God is redeeming time. He's restoring what was taken. He's rebuilding what collapsed. He's reviving what looked finished. Yes, revival is coming to your life, not just emotionally, but spiritually, financially, relationally, mentally. You're going to breathe deeper, sleep better, speak with confidence, love without fear, give without worry, walk without guilt. That's the life He's calling you into. That's the path He's making right now. And I want you to know, nothing the enemy did can stop it. No lie He spoke over your childhood, no trauma from your past, no betrayal from your past relationships. It doesn't have the power to cancel the future God has written. You are stepping into a new beginning, one not based on what you've earned, but on who He says you are. You are loved, chosen, set apart, prepared, covered. And completely seen. He knows your fears. He knows your hidden thoughts. He knows the what-ifs that try to rise up in your mind. And He still says, I choose you for this. I trust you with this. That calling. It's not too big. That dream. It's not impossible. That healing. It's not too far. With man, maybe. But with God, all things are possible. Luke 1:37 says, for nothing will be impossible with God. And right now, God is making the impossible inevitable. The prayer you whispered years ago, the vision you buried, the hope you set aside because life got hard. He's bringing it back, because God never forgets the seeds you planted in faith. He waters them in silence. He matures them in hiddenness, and He reveals them in His time. This is His time and your time, because divine timing includes your obedience, your readiness, and His glory. You were made for such a time as this. You weren't born too early or too late. You're right on time for what heaven has planned for you. So lift your head. Don't walk like you're defeated. Don't speak like you're hopeless. Don't think like your best days are behind you. Your best days are ahead, because God is ahead. He's already in your tomorrow. He's already walking through the meetings you haven't attended yet, the connections you haven't made yet, the breakthroughs you haven't seen yet. He's setting things up right now for your good. And soon, you'll begin to see signs of what's been forming all along. Divine appointments, sudden answers, quiet confirmations, unexplainable peace, all of it's evidence that God has been working the entire time. He didn't forget you. He's been preparing you. He's been teaching you how to hear Him more clearly, how to walk by faith, not just feelings, how to worship with no spotlight, no stage, no applause, just you and Him in the stillness. And you did. You pressed in. You kept praying. You kept believing. And now the reward is near. Hebrews 10:35-36 says, so do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. You need to persevere so that, when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. You are closer than ever, and it's going to come quickly, swiftly, clearly. You won't have to second guess it, because the peace of God will confirm it before your eyes ever do. You won't have to force it, because the grace of God will carry you into it. You won't have to manipulate or beg, because the favor of God will make room for you. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Your gift, the one you thought was too small, the one you thought was wasted, the one you kept hidden, God is now using it to open doors no man can close, doors of purpose, doors of influence, doors of provision. And when those doors open, you won't even need to explain how you got there, because the glory of God will be all over you. The oil of His presence will go before you, and your story will be a testimony to everyone watching that God really does make a way. Yes, even for you. So if you've made it this far, I want you to declare this in the comments right now. The way has been made for me. Don't just type it. Believe it. Say it out loud. Where you are, let your room be filled with that declaration. Let every fear, every lie, every lingering doubt hear you say it boldly. The way has been made. He's not just preparing a way for you to survive. He's preparing a way for you to thrive. To live. Enjoy again. To trust again. To build again. To receive again. And you're going to see it happen in such a way that no one will be able to say it was luck, or chance, or coincidence. They will only be able to say, surely, the hand of the Lord was in this. Because that's what happens when God moves. He doesn't just answer your prayer. He answers it in a way that brings glory to His name and healing to your life. So, rest in this. Let your heart be calm. Let your mind release what it's been carrying. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to force it to happen. You don't have to convince anyone to believe in you. God believes in you, and His belief is enough. So receive the peace of knowing He's not just walking with you. He's leading you. He's walking ahead, clearing every obstruction. He's walking beside you, keeping you stable. He's walking behind you, guarding what's already passed. You are surrounded by love, by mercy, by divine protection, and you are going to make it, not just through this week, but through every valley, every delay, every unknown road ahead. Because God will not leave you now. He's too faithful to abandon the one He died to save. He's too present to forget the one He's been preparing all this time. He's too loving to let your purpose go unfulfilled. So walk forward, child of God, with peace, with clarity, with confidence, because your steps are ordered and your future is secure. Now, before we close this message, if you were blessed by what you heard, please don't leave without sharing this video with at least one person you love. There's someone else who needs this word, someone else who has felt forgotten, someone else who is wondering if God still has a plan. You can be the one who brings them hope today. Also, if you have it already, go ahead and like this video. It truly helps this message reach more souls like yours, souls that are hungry for a real word from heaven. And be sure to subscribe to this channel, God's Message Today, and click the notification bell so you never miss another message like this. We're family here, and every time you come back, there will be a fresh word waiting for your heart. Until next time, stay in faith, stay expectant, and stay open to the divine path being made just for you. Because truly, God is making a way, and it's greater than anything you ever imagined.